Nakatiki Wawa Ayas Marcy Kabasam. Thanks for inviting me here. It's good to be here. I raise my hands to the Coast Salish people whose traditional territory this is. I wanted to rectify maybe a small confusion on at least one flyer that I saw. This talk I'm giving was advertised as fighting to preserve BC's indigenous languages. And I guess I can go with that. I'll start you out with a fight song. Kanawi Masai Gas Jewish Telecom Susal Masai Gas Kukum Fight. That's a Chinook jargon soundbite from a song that was at the top of the charts in BC in 1897. I think it hasn't been sung in 116 years. It's exhorting praying people to get up and fight. In that case, it was against the devil and whiskey. I'd like to maybe give you folks something to fight for in a 2013 context. So let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about the Chinook jargon that we never knew, but that we will. So here's what we know. By way of background, the Chinook jargon was famously a trade language. That's what we linguists call a pidgin. So that's just a language that has no native speakers. Nobody grows up learning it at home as a baby. Everyone has to learn a pidgin as a second language, usually as an adult. We know that this language is only about 200 years old, to all appearances. Lewis and Clark recorded the first known sentence of Chinook jargon. It was this: Clush musket, Wick Gumtuck's musket, which means nice rifle. We know this was a rollicking, multi-ethnic mishmash of a language with a mix of Salish words, tribal Chinookan words, English, French from the voyageurs, and quite a bit more. So really, quite the blend. It was spoken, as Sam says, from the California border up here through BC and into southeastern Alaska. And this language is one that gave our English in the Pacific Northwest some great words. It gave us, well, this word. Someone stopped me on the street once in Victoria, taking my baby for a walk, and said, "Skookum stroller, eh?" This language is also where we got, well, nouns like hi mucky muck, meaning a fat cat or a bigwig. But all of this that I'm telling you so far is just the standard story, what's already known. There's been quite a bit of research lately on this language, and with that research, we've been finding out quite a bit more that we never knew about Chinook jargon. We know now it was an illegitimate child of even earlier trade languages. There was a Haida jargon, and then there was a Nuu-chah-nulth jargon, or Nootka jargon on Vancouver Island. These came into the genesis of Chinook jargon. We know that this was a neighbor of still other trade languages. It was spoken alongside Chinese Pidgin English in the canneries, right here. And it was used along with Pidgin sawmill sign languages all around the Northwest. We now know, by the way, that Chinook jargon is a language. Despite 200 years of rumors saying this had no grammar, it was not a true language, it was more like a lingo, let's say. Chinook jargon has verbs, it has tenses, it has moods, all the functioning grammar you could hope for in a language. You can say I love you in Chinook jargon. You can also pick a fight with it. It just has fewer words, though, than most other languages. And if you think about it, that's a wonderful design feature in a pidgin language you've got to pick up quickly in order to function in a new environment. Just a few words. This was not a fur trade language, despite its reputation. Again, we've learned this is a gold rush language. We have also discovered this is largely an Aboriginal language, a co-Aboriginal language, let me say. and it's really thrived under the stewardship of First Nations. Indian standards of pronunciation prevailed as the best way to say words, and so you would say tlap for to get instead of clap, and you'd say kalachen for a fence instead of Callahan. There were unique kinds of names in Chinook jargon. Ich Joe, Mox Joe here at Squamish meant first Joe and second Joe, which didn't mean Joe Jr. and Joe Sr. It just meant first Joe and second Joe. And there were songs in Chinook jargon, tons of them, maintained largely by the native people. There were hymns like Whiskey Mimelos Telechem, just a soundbite. Whiskey kills people, that's why I'm throwing it away. Gambling songs like which has actually become a fight song in its own right for Idle No More here in BC. And there were love songs like Why are you afraid of me? I love you. We've learned, sadly, also, this is an endangered language. There are hardly any speakers of Chinook jargon anymore having conversations in it. We lose all of the things I've just mentioned if we lose Chinook jargon. We also lose metaphors like sick dum dum nika, I'm sorry, but it's literally my heart is sick. And we lose in BC a unique alphabet that was used only in this province and only really for this language, the Chinook Pipa or Chinook writing. Let me quote a partisan of this alphabet. Nawitkat kopman pipa kakwa pultim Chinook pipa kakwa steamcar. So indeed the white man's writing is like a team of oxen, but Chinook writing is like a steam engine. What we will know, we're discovering this is a Cascadian language. All right, in brief, people are discovering a real new sense of their identity regionally in the Northwest, and Chinook jargon is being rediscovered along with it. People are learning they must revitalize this language to get access to it and use it. It's happening already at Grand Ronde Indian Reservation in Oregon, and I suggest that BC has far more resources and could really do a bang-up job bringing back the Chinook jargon. How about making it an official language? I want to leave you, having told you all this, let me tell you one more thing. And I would like to give each of you $50 for listening to me. Now please, skookum fight for Chinook jargon and BC's Aboriginal languages. Thank you so much.